On the surface, this is a story of progress, Namibia's blue economy, which is a plan to harness the ocean for jobs, growth, and global trade. The tool is the Port of Walvis Bay, and the latest project is the one that is reclaiming the 4.2 hectares of sea at Berth 9 to make space for oil and gas logistics. But beneath the hulls of cargo ships lies a fragile world, the Benguela current, which is a nutrient-rich engine that feeds one of Africa's most important wetlands. And in this documentary, it asks a simple question. And the question is, when we draw new lines on the water, who wins and who loses? Also, can we ever go back to the normal? Namibia's blue economy policy is ambitious. It promises to turn the ocean into an economic engine, but the policy faces a hard road, which is the Benguela current large marine ecosystem. This ecosystem is naturally harsh, with low oxygen, hydrogen sulfide eruptions, and a narrow window of biological productivity.
The Marine Resource Act is clear, and the states own its marine resources. But it must manage them sustainably. We can't just give away the ocean. Every ton of fish, every cubic meter of water has an ecological function.
Under the Berth 9 project, NAMPORT's EIA admits that the seabed here is already disturbed by dredging, but it warns of the elevated heavy metals which are like the arsenal, cadmium, nickel in the sediments that will be dredged and used as fuel. When that material is moved, displaced water will seep into the harbor. Now the question isn't if the water quality will change, it's how much the lagoon and mariculture farms can tolerate.
Let's talk about facts. The South Port is at 95% capacity. We have oil and gas exploration in Namibian waters right now, and those vessels may need the port. This reclamation is about 4.2 hectares, the surrounding area in the lagoon size, and we are building a national asset. The GTP, the jobs, that's real. We can mitigate the turbidity. We can monitor in real time, but we cannot stop the progress.
Progress is not a blank check. Under UNCLOS Article 192, Namibia has a legal obligation to protect and preserve the marine environment. And the Benguela Current Convention requires us to take a precautionary, ecosystem-based approach. You are talking about mobilizing contaminated sediments right next to the Ramsar site. Your own report talks about exceeding the Benguela current large marine ecosystem. Probable effect concentration for nickel. So what is your mitigation for bioaccumulation in the food chain? The flamingos and the migratory birds don't care about your GDP projections.
And what about the people that live here? I represent the guest house owners on the 5th Road, the oyster farmers in the bay, and the local fishermen. During the last port construction, we had trucks rumbling past our homes at all hours. Noise from piling that went on after dark. And now you want to add 6.6 hectares of heavy-duty pavements and heavy motor vehicles? No, not here. The EIA even admits that the Walvis Bay Lagoon is the most important coastal wetland for migratory birds in southern Africa. You can't just pave paradise and call it occupational space.
So what's your alternative? No developments? We have restricted track hours, and we are trying to find a balance.
A balance requires speed, and the Environmental Management Act gives us the right to deny or condition the environmental clearance certificate. I want to see a binding environmental management plan. I also want to see the list of mitigating measures, and that is
But the EIA's own numbers tell a story. The positive economic impact is scored at 64, while the negative impact on water quality and marine ecology is scored at 28 to 35. Those are not trivial numbers. They represent real risk to the Benguela currents fisheries, which employ thousands, and the tourism industry, which relies on the marine, not the industry. So where does this leave us? That's another question. The EIA concludes that the project should be allowed, provided that the mitigation measures are implemented, but the Central Marine Spatial Planning is still in draft opportunities, zoning to separate mining, fisheries, and biodiversity areas. It acknowledges companies like the overlap with phosphate mining and its own requirements.
The Marine Spatial Planning is not a map. The question for Berth 9 is actually whether the compromise was fair or not. The EIA says
The blue economy is not a myth, it is a choice. Namibia can have a working port and a healthy lagoon, but only if the law is more than ink on paper, and only if sustainable is measured in more than tons of cargo.